The foreign ministers of China and Iran met on Friday to announce that a 25-year cooperation deal between the two countries has been launched, while China also took the opportunity to criticize the United States' unilateral sanctions against Iran, Reuters reported. The cooperation deal, which was signed last March, builds a partnership between the two countries in areas like healthcare, infrastructure, cybersecurity, and agriculture, the news outlet noted. The multi-trillion-dollar Chinese Belt and Road enterprise now involves Iran, and the deal is also meant to further partnerships with other nations, but the US and other nations have expressed concern over the deal, Reuters reported. Big shock. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi also expressed support for a resumption of negotiations over the Iran nuclear deal. However, he criticized the U.S. for imposing unilateral sanctions against Iran. The U.S. also imposed sanctions on China and is maintaining a diplomatic boycott in the upcoming 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics. And then they have some repeating of history where they mention that Trump ripped up the deal in 2018. And a year later, Iran began violating terms of the agreements, and international negotiations have since struggled. The Chinese foreign minister said that his country was against getting involved in Iran's personal business. The U.S.'s sanctions against the Middle East country and using human rights and other topics as political manipulation. So I'm fine with this deal. There is a belief that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And let's make something clear: the United States dislikes China primarily because it's the other leading superpower, right? We have this economic war, and it dislikes Iran because we're so in love with the Israeli government. You know, we're their lapdog. We do whatever they tell us to. So I don't see a problem with two countries coming together for what seems to be a pretty peaceful proposal. You know, being aiding each other with healthcare and all these other resources. And you know, maybe something bad might happen, but I certainly think this is a much more productive venture than, oh, we're going to team up to, I don't know, bomb a country, which is what the U.S. and Saudi Arabia did with Yemen, for example. So this is something that just seems pretty good for everybody that's not the U.S. I like that they mention our sanctions. You know, the Chinese foreign minister, and he's right. You know, you can't expect Iran to want to put up with you when you're punishing them for violating a deal that, under a different president than the one we currently have, admittedly, you ripped up in front of their faces. It's just so bizarre to me. But you have two countries that we've put sanctions on teaming up to work together. And it's really sad because I think if the U.S. wasn't so buddy buddy with the Israeli government, we would be more, you know, compliant with just Iran in general. Because all that stuff about democracy and, oh, if you're talking about China, you know, the Uyghur, you know, we don't care about them. We showed how little we care about human lives when we were destroying them across the world in, what is it, what, 5 wars now? Because I know we left Afghanistan and we're also not technically in Yemen anymore, and even though we still are willing to support the Saudis by, you know, selling them weapons that they use over there. But you know, when you see all those conflicts going on where we're destroying lives, the U.S. sitting here and trying to make Iran feel bad for, you know, whatever reason, um, basically we're just hypocrites, and all of our problems with those two countries are the same, are the reasons I gave earlier, and I have no problem with them interacting what seems to be a peaceful manner. Just wish the U.S. would do that with other countries more often. They would follow suit, you know.